It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Citi Prime News. The news is live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. I am Zoe Abubeiduadu. Coming up, President Mahama nominates new district chief executives for 8 out of 16 regions. Also, NADMO assesses impact of yesterday's downpour in Accra. Meanwhile, the Ghana Meteorological Agency warns of more rains and cautions the public to adhere to safety guidelines.
Everybody should be very cautious of himself, listen to the weather warning, and don't be converging at places where you know when it rains, it is flood-prone area.
Still ahead, Tamale South Member of Parliament Haruna Idrisu criticizes lack of debt settlement plan for road contractors.
Road contractors, how are we working in a manner that they can retire their debt, that the interest which is consuming many of them into getting BP and dying suddenly is dealt with?
And later, we'll bring you a report on how art and craft vendors in Osu in Accra positioned themselves to meet demands of customers this Heritage Month. This bulletin is also live across our partner stations. In the Western region, we're on Ajimpa 100.7 FM, in Takwa Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrade. Bono region, Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani, Ashanti region, Focus 94.3 in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu, VOV Radio 95.7 in Hoho. In the Northern region, Radio Bimbala 91.9 FM, Upper East Quality 88.7 FM in Garu, and in the Upper West region, we are on Tongsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM. Across the globe, we are live on citinewsroom.com.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for joining us on the Citi Prime News. Now, President John Dramani Mahama has nominated 72 individuals for chief executive positions in various municipal and district assemblies across 8 regions. These include the Volta, Oti, Ahafo, Bono East, Savannah, Northeast and Western North regions. In a statement, the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, said the nominees will need approval from their respective assemblies before assuming office. The Ghana Meteorological Agency is urging the public to pay attention to its weather warnings following yesterday's downpour, which was accompanied by strong winds. The storm led to the collapse of the solar panel car park shed at the ANC Mall, damaging more than 50 vehicles. One person also sustained injuries when the tree fell on his vehicle in front of the Kutubabi police station. In an interview with Citi News, Deputy Director of the agency, Joseph Potofi, advised the public to avoid seeking shelter in flood-prone areas during rainfall.
When the drain systems are choked, then it means we are going to face a lot of challenges because the water will backfire and then come back to our homes. And that brings a lot of health implications because there are people who throw they put feces and things and they throw it into the gutters. When those things come into our homes, those are the things that leads to choleritis. So we need to be environmentally conscious of ourselves and also make sure that when we get a weather warning, we avoid places where there is a possibility of flooding or places where there are trees. So yesterday a lot of trees were uprooted. Even though Accra has high rising buildings, a lot of buildings around. But when the wind gets through those buildings, it increases its speed. So anything ahead of that wind, in between two buildings, it will be very devastating. So we are saying that everybody should be very cautious of himself, listen to the weather warning, and don't be converging at places where you know when it rains, it is flood-prone area. Then in the evening, you go and converge that you are taking a vehicle while they said there is what? Rain coming. Please, we should avoid all those things so that at least even when the rain comes, whatever comes, we still have our lives to enjoy.
So that was Joseph Potofi, who is the Deputy Director of the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Now, the management of the ANC Mall has committed to covering the cost of repairs for vehicles damaged when the solar panel canopy collapsed during Tuesday's rainstorm. Very shortly, I'll be playing to you one of the voices of the affected individuals. But before we do so, let's go over the phone lines and speak to my colleague Samuel Akom, who was there yesterday to bring us that report after we saw videos of the solar panel at the ANC Mall fall over some 50 vehicles. Good afternoon, Samuel. Thank you so much for joining us. Has there been any major change since yesterday?
Thank you, Zoe. There have been major change since yesterday. You quite remember in yesterday's report, it was visibly seen that the solar panel was covering the entire car park, and the management started the process of removing the solar panels to set the vehicles free. And so this morning, upon arrival, we noticed that all of the solar panels that collapsed on the vehicles have been removed, and all the metal that collapsed on the vehicles have also been removed. Another thing worth mentioning is that vehicle owners were also seen here taking records together with management of ANC Mall to find out how the damage that was caused to their vehicles. And we do know, speaking to some of the victims or affected persons, they indicate that management has asked them to put out their records. They've taken their records and all, and the vehicles, and then come for their claims. So they will submit invoices to come for their claims. So that is what has been happening. But it's also worth mentioning that the NADMO officials also arrived here moments after we got here, and they spoke to management and assured that they will be putting in place a technical committee. The committee will basically to move around the country to sensitize people about some of these dangers and possibly prevent most of these things from happening. If there is a downpour, how should people behave? Where should they park? And all of that. They indicated that they will begin such sensitization exercise. That is what has been happening here today.
But with the affected persons, have they moved their vehicles from the ANC Mall?
Right. So some of the vehicles can be moved and others too cannot be moved. For those that can be moved, we have seen about 10 vehicles move away so far. So after they take their records and put down their details, they ask the management whether or not they can move their vehicles, and they were allowed to. And so as I speak to you, people are still here assessing their vehicles as to whether or not they can move them off the car park. If they can, and then they are allowed to move them off the car park.
Thank you very much for your report. That was Samuel Akom reporting from the ANC Mall. Let's now hear from one of the affected individuals who said he has been instructed by the mall's management to repair his vehicle and submit the cost for reimbursement.
Authorities came in yesterday to rescue us, and then today we are on the field checking the damages, and then they said they will definitely repair everything. So everything is okay.
So the ANC Mall is going to cover the entire cost of
both
the damage?
Insurance and ANC Mall.
So for you specifically, what was the damage?
Windscreen.
The windscreen?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you can move your car now?
Of course, yes.
And then you repair, and then what happens next?
They'll pay for the cost.
So you had there one person whose car was damaged at the ANC Mall following a downpour yesterday. Meanwhile, the Deputy Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, Teddy Safori, says the agency is taking steps to prevent similar incidents as the rainy season approaches.
We should just prepare as Ghanaians for the season. I mean, we're about to enter the raining season, and these are seasons when a lot of disasters do happen. So we're just praying. And as the new NADMO team, we're not looking at managing disasters anymore. We are looking at preventing disasters. So I mean, we're with the technical department. They're here with us. When we get to the office, we're going to sit down as a team so that technically they can also advise us on what to do, so that going forward, we don't encounter such disasters in our cities anymore.
Deputy Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, Teddy Safori. There. One other area we covered during our news bulletin last night was the Accra College of Education, which remains without electricity after the rainstorm pulled several electoral poles on that campus yesterday. Joining me on the phone line is Manuel Ayama, who has gone there today to also have an assessment of what happened last night and if there have been any improvements. Good afternoon, Manuel. Thank you for joining us on the City Prime News.
Good afternoon, Zoe.
All right, so what can you report from the Accra College of Education?
Okay, so just as you said, currently there isn't electricity power, and this is due to the falling electric poles during the rainstorm. But at the moment, management have arranged for ECG officials to fix them. So that is currently being done. But no casualties have been recorded. And the strong rains also uprooted some trees on campus. The trees are also being cleared by some officials, and management arranged for that as well. But one critical thing is that students had to sit for an exam today. They had to sit for 2 papers today. One, they couldn't because of the power outage. They couldn't print the papers for the students to sit and write. But the other paper students are currently writing. And so that is the situation here at the moment at the Accra College of Education. And let me also add that students who are not writing an exam or sitting for a paper are still south.
Hello, Manuel. Apologies, we lost Manuel Ayama there. He was reporting from the Accra College of Education and basically saying that the school is still without electricity. No casualties have been recorded. The storm affected the hostels, the hostel rooms, and damaged parts of the college's structures. He has also indicated that management of the schools in talks with the Electricity Company of Ghana to restore electricity supply there. Let's still stay on the issue having to do with the rainstorm yesterday. The Electricity Company of Ghana has attributed the recent power outages in parts of Accra to yesterday's rainstorm. Now, the storm caused flooding and damage in several areas, including the ANC Mall and the Accra College of Education, which you have mentioned, and neighborhoods near the Kotobabi police station, bringing down some power lines, which has led to widespread electricity disruptions. ECG, in a statement, assured the public that teams are working to restore power as soon as possible. Let's now turn our attention away from the rainstorm, and the Ministry of Health is urging foreign governments supporting Ghana's healthcare system to align their assistance with national policies. This comes after a visit by the Egyptian ambassador, where discussions focused on providing key medical practitioners to enhance healthcare delivery. Health Minister Kwabena Minta Kando welcomed the initiative, stressing the government's focus on expanding healthcare infrastructure and building local capacity.
If you want to leave a legacy in this country, let it be whole, let it be absolute. You are prepared to bring physicians, equipment, but we should provide the infrastructure. We have huge infrastructure deficit in the health sector as a country. So that is what we even need most. As I speak to you now, the former administration left not less than 80-something uncompleted health facilities across the length and breadth of this country. Not a single one of them is in operation. 6 new regions, we don't have any regional hospital in any of the 6 new regions. Every region at least must have a regional hospital. His Excellency has directed that we have a free primary health care, so that every Ghanaian will have access to free primary health care in order to facilitate the universal health coverage.
That was the Health Minister, Kwabena Minta Kando. Now, the Minister of Education and Member of Parliament for Tamale South, Haruna Idrisu, has raised concerns over the lack of plans to settle debts owed road contractors. He warned that many contractors are struggling with health issues, including high blood pressure due to financial burdens from unpaid debts, with some cases resulting in deaths. Speaking during the debate on the 2025 budget estimate for the Ministry of Roads and Highways, he noted that the Roads and Transport Committee's report failed to address these payments.
I've heard that road fund debt is 21 billion. commitment about 105 billion. I do not find any of this fine expression in the Committee of Rules report to Parliament. That's worrying because that responsibility will have to, who pays that debt? When will that debt be paid? When will Parliament make provisions for that debt? And Mr. Speaker, as Parliament, it is not just about us, road contractors. We have a responsibility to them. How are we working in a manner that they can retire their debt, that the interest which is consuming many of them into getting BP and dying suddenly is dealt with? So when you do a report like this and you don't report the road sector debt, because I recall in some meeting somewhere where 61 billion attributable to it was 29 billion meant for the road sector together with it. Now you have a road report to Parliament which conspicuously doesn't capture that. I have some concern in respect of that.
That was the Tamale South Member of Parliament and Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Kasiel Atuforsing says the Mahama administration has begun addressing the country's challenges. His comments follow criticism from the minority caucus, which accused the government of failing to tackle the crisis effectively. During his concluding statement on the 2025 budget debate in Parliament, Dr. Forsing urged the House to approve the government's policy document, describing it as essential for improving livelihoods.
This is a budget that ensures that whatever we need as a country to bring back our past glory and even beyond is provided. So, Speaker, we have a job to do. We have started fixing the problems. We will fix all the major issues and improve living standards of our citizens. We will require the support of this House to execute effectively and efficiently. So, Speaker, we will take on board the constructive criticisms that we have received on the floor of this House to reset the economy of Ghana and to deliver the Ghana we all want. This year, Mr. Speaker, we have set ourselves key targets, and we believe this target will be achieved. The targets are grow the economy to at least 4%.
That was the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasiel Atuforsing. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. Stay tuned. We'll bring you a report on how art and craft vendors in Osu in Accra position themselves to meet demands of customers this Heritage Month.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Get ready as we take you back to your roots to experience the food, music, dance, games, and many more at the Back to Your Village Food Festival. The dates are 29th and 30th of March 2025. Time is 10 a.m. right through till 6 p.m. each day. The venue, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM social media handles for updates with the hashtag Back to Your Village. Entry is free, so see you there. The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by Gino, Koa Natural Cocoa Fruit Juice, Pan-African Savings and Loans, Chibu Water, Trillium Industrial Company Limited, and Contract Cleaners Association of Ghana.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You welcome back to the Citi Prime News. I am Zoe Abubeidwadu. Now, former Swami Member of Parliament Osei Mensah-Bonsu has criticized the 2025 budget, describing it as lacking in comprehensiveness, predictable revenue flow, and precision. Speaking at a public dialogue on the budget organized by the Ashanti Minority Bloc of MPs on Monday, he questioned its ability to drive Ghana's economic growth.
There should be predictability about the revenues, You need that because the various sectors, they need an assurance. Say, there will be revenue flow. How much and the combined effect of Saadi Bemayeno? He didn't tell us. So you see, you can't predict the revenue budgeting. And so it falls flat, this budget falls flat on that. the budget that is brought should be transparent. It should be transparent. Unfortunately, you had a minister tell us, for instance, paragraph 44 of the budget, key performance indicators such as primary balance, inflation, social protection spending for end December 2024 are likely to be missed. What it means is that the minister himself is not even sure of what he's saying. But he said this because the president had earlier on said the economy is in distress. The Minister of Finance is not sure. The budget is a serious document. When you're speaking to it, you must be sure of your bearings.
The former legislator, however, commended the NDC government's efforts to stabilize the exchange rate through gold marketing by establishing the gold board, but questioned its feasibility and implementation.
Attempts to stabilize exchange rate through gold marketing. So, gold board now, almost say it's a good intent that they've expressed. However, this is a new program. You expect to populate the board with people with demonstrable competencies in commodity trading and so on. If we get it wrong at the very outset, it will be dangerous for us as a country. The policy is good, but its implementation,
That was former Member of Parliament for Swami, Osei Chei Mensah Bonsu. That's also in the Ashanti region. A suspected armed robber has been lynched by a mob at Edum in Kumasi Central Business District. Eyewitnesses say the suspect was caught after a failed attempt to flee with two others following an attack on their victim with a knife. The suspects reportedly robbed the victim of his phone and other belongings. While the two managed to escape with a stolen phone, the deceased was captured and allegedly lynched. Police from the railway police station later arrived at the scene and conveyed the body to the morgue. An eyewitness speaking on condition of anonymity narrated the incident to Citi News.
5:30 to 6 more.
There were three of them at about 5:30 a.m. Fortunately, one was arrested, but the other two bolted. According to the suspect, he came from Accra. Armed robberies have become rampant in the area, and it's terrible.
There was an eyewitness recounting the incident involving an angry mob at Edum in Kumasi's Central Business District. Now, the National Disaster Management Organization in the Ayawaso Central Constituency is clearing logs from the road to ease traffic flow. This follows a rainstorm that uprooted a tree near the Kotobabi police station, injuring a male occupant of a moving salon car with registration in a moving salon car. The victim was rushed to the police hospital and is receiving treatment. An eyewitness spoke to Citi News.
The incident occurred in front of my shop. Yesterday's storm was massive. Initially, there were two cars, but one managed to escape while the other was destroyed. We went to a nearby police station to request that officers call ECG to turn off the power to the fallen light poles, allowing us to retrieve the trapped vehicle. Later, we were informed that the power had been cut, clearing the way for the vehicle's retrieval. The occupant sustained injuries and is approximately 35 years old.
35, 36, 37 more.
You heard from an eyewitness about the impact of the rainstorm at Kotobabi. Meanwhile, the assemblyman for Ayawaso Central, Tommy Thompson, appealed to the government to equip the National Disaster Management Organization for more effective operations.
So what you can see, the bigger one that they are using, the two, they are coming from the other side. So not more, I think they don't have materials. And for what has happened, I think you can also see. So if government can do something by supporting non-office for future occurrences, I think it will help. We thank God, as you can see, the car is being stuck under the tree. The driver was in, but thank God, no casualty. We were able to move him and he be taken to police headquarters. And he was sent there by the police hospital. He is there for admission for now. So we pray to see what happened. We just lucky it wasn't a trotro or motorbikes passing by. Imagine this situation. Look at the side of the tree, but to be a trotro, a motorbike. Just imagine what will happen. God is able to thank God for what happened.
Tommy Thompson is Assembly Member for Ayawaso Central. Now, as Ghana marks its Heritage Month, arts and craft vendors in Osu Accra position their businesses to meet the demands of their customers. From flexible pricing to bespoke services, traders are exploring varied strategies to keep their businesses competitive. Citi News' Fauzo Masawudu engaged some vendors and reports.
The month of March is usually a profit-making season for arts and crafts vendors in Osu and other parts of the country. From woven items, clothes, handmade accessories and traditional sculptures, customers are provided a wide array of goods to choose from. It may be early days yet, but vendors like Sarah Frimpong are already making significant profits.
This March, dear, is because of the children, because some people used to dress like how some of the teachers, they'll tell them to go and buy South Africa. So those people who support their mothers and fathers support her, but as for them, they don't not come and buy like something like dresses or like bags, or no, they don't come and even this morning cry only for the kids. Bubu and those ahinema and those things there, like this morning this market is going on.
Conversely, it has not been business as usual. Peace Okine attributes the relative decline in patronage to economic challenges.
This year is very slow because I think the economy is very poor. Yeah, so people are not coming. So compared this year to maybe last 4 years, this year is very waste. People are not coming, yes.
Consequently, I queried what has been the strategy of traders like Sarah, who are already maximizing profits. Nothing exclusive to effective customer relation and her ability to painstakingly explain the complexities of her stocks, especially to customers from the diaspora.
This one is, if they are come to buy the fabric, we show them this one is high targets, this one is low targets, because some people they come, oh, this one is high target, and when they send it, they will tell some of the foreigners, because some of the foreigners they come and buy more of, so they don't know how to
differentiate.
Yeah.
Their counterpart, Emmanuel Kwanzaa, however, believes the emergence of technology has significantly impacted the art and craft market.
The market is on and off, especially the online people are making money than we the streets hustlers, because the online they are already online. At least they brand themselves, they get good marketing and other stuff. We too are praying to God so that one day we too can just get somewhere international, then we can also brand our stuff.
At this market, there is more to just an attraction to the items on display. Headscarves like Odasubo, fabrics boldly capturing the Edinkra symbols, and other objects of affirmation to the rich Ghanaian culture all have a meaning connected to the preferences of buyers. But how much is enough to make a purchase here?
As for me, I have 250. It depends the style, yes, and the one you choose. Yes, and for the kids' dresses, it's about 120 going. Like if I have 60 cities or 80 cities, yeah, I can take. For instance, this one like this is 350.
It's 350.
And this batik too, I can give it to you 400 cities. Yes, because it's expensive. Yeah.
I engaged Novella Robinson, a Ghanaian who had just returned from abroad.
I love coming down and shopping, so I've gotten a few things already.
What did you get?
Well, I had to get me some more waist beads, and then I got this nice little bracelet, and then someone made me one with my name on it.
Fantastic. How are the prices for you?
They're decent. Sometimes they can be a little up, so you have to negotiate.
Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Abla Jifa Gomashi, emphasizes the vital role of fashion and art in preserving cultural heritage.
When I was a child, during a Champions time, there was Operation Feed Yourself, and I recall vividly, as if it was yesterday, the fact that on a special day set aside for the celebration of agriculture, our schools will have poetry recitals and traditional dances and so on. And on one of the occasions, I was dressed in a beautiful kente. They had pepper as my earrings. Yes, pepper, chili pepper, the long red one. They had it as my earring, and they sellotaped it to my ear, and they gave me garden eggs for a pendant.
That was the Minister for Tourism, Ablaji Fagumashi, ending that report by City News' Fauzu Masaudu. Still on the Heritage Month, it's just 3 days to the 2025 Back to Your Village Food Festival, and as the countdown continues, sponsors have been giving patrons a glimpse of what to expect.
We've partnered with Citi and also Channel One on several events, and this particular event is very exciting for us because what we produce goes well with a lot of food. You have this refreshing drink with your local food. It's an amazing combination. So we thought about that, and also celebrating Ghana Month. What products can you use to celebrate such a month than cocoa? You know, it's become a heritage of the country and all that. So we felt, as a company, as a brand, producing such products, it's lovely for us to, you know, showcase it and then make people available to taste, enjoy it, and then know that there's something as nice as this.
The Akan village, you should be expecting fufu. We would actually give you 4 local soups. All right. But for the purpose of the demonstration today, we brought only 1. That day you should expect the green that we have here.
This one. This is the green soup, right?
Yes, please, the green soup. Right. It has crab inside there.
Oh, there are crabs inside?
Yes, there's crab. There is...
Oh, I see snail.
Snail as well. There's mushroom.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's so packed.
Very packed.
You heard there's some sponsors and vendors of the 2025 Back to Your Village Food Festival. The Back to Your Village Food Festival is powered by Channel One TV and Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Jibu Water, Gino, Kwa Natural, Pan-African Savings and Loans, Streamum Industry and the Contract Cleaners Association of Ghana. That'll be all for this edition of the Citi Prime News. I am Zoe Abubedo. Many thanks for listening.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on